Page 52, Procession. At the top of the page, they're introducing you to two new symbols that look exactly alike. Good luck with this. Well, half rest and the whole rest. Remember I said for every note there's a rest. We've had quarter rest. Now we get two more, a half rest and a whole rest. They go with the whole half note and whole note. And they're both a little box. And the box looks exactly the same. There's no difference in the box. The difference is where the box is on the staff. The half rest, you'll see it sits above the middle line. And the whole rest, you look at it, it sits below the next to the top line. They're in the same space. But the half rest is above the line, the whole rest is below the line. How you remember which is up to you. You'll figure it out. I use the method of weight. I say a half rest is only 2 counts. Typically it's lighter, smaller, so it can sit on the line. The whole rest is like 4 counts. It's heavier, it's bigger, so it's heavy, it hangs below the line. And that's how I remember. So for the first time in the book, we can have the printed music to be technically accurate. Well, I don't know if it's the first time or not, but it's the first time in a long time it's been accurate. You see, the idea is every measure has to be correct according to the time signature. So in a 4/4 time signature like this one, every measure should have 4 counts in it, for the most part. There's exceptions, but forget the exceptions. Well, in the past, they've just left the measure empty. They didn't put anything in it. Well, technically, you should have something in it to account for 4 counts. Here, now that we've got these rests going, we can account for all the rests that we need. We can account for all the beats in both staves for all the measures. So look at the beginning of this in the right hand. You see the box is above the line, that's a half rest. That's 2 counts in 4/4 time. So when the right hand plays, it plays on beat 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then that third measure over, same thing. It's a half rest. It's sitting on the line. So that when you play it, it's 2. It comes in on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that idea? Now the whole rest, if you're looking for one, there's 1 and the last measure on page 52 in the left hand for the bottom staff. There's nothing in that measure. Before, they'd have just left the measure empty. No, we don't want to do that. The whole rest, they put that little box that's hanging below the line. It's a whole rest. Now, I'll tell you now, the whole rest actually has 2 functions. It has 2 things, 2 duties. It's double duty. It can be the same as a whole note, or it can just be a whole measure, regardless of how many beats it is. So if they want a whole measure of silence, they'll just put in a whole rest and be done with it. It doesn't matter what the time signature is. And that takes care of it. Here it works out because in 4/4 time, it gets 4 counts anyway, so that's okay. But it could have been in 3/4 time or 6/8 time or who knows what time. Doesn't matter. It would be for the whole measure. Now, there are times in some music you get into where the rest or the measure lasts more than 4 beats. 4 quarter notes, and in that case you have to be careful because the whole rest there might be other things in the measure besides a whole rest. And don't think that, well, if a whole rest is there, nothing else can be there. That's not true. What I'm saying is that if they want the whole measure to be quiet, the whole rest will do it. Just stick that in and that's good enough. Now for procession, 4/4 time, right hand, we're starting out with the C. We're building a chord here one time. Then next you get 2 notes. And then the next line you have 3 notes. We build them up. And then when you get to the top of page 53, now the melodies start. 1, 2. Like so. And that's about it for the right hand. The left hand has these C chords here, and that's tied for 2 measures, and then you do it again, tied for 2 measures, isn't this fun? And then the G's. Then we can add the articulation. Well, the articulation, they have a few slurs that I don't agree with, we'll talk about those, and then the accents. At the beginning, the left hand gets an accent, you play it a little extra, and then you have an accent in the right hand on the whole note. So it's at the beginning it's 1, 2. little extra, and then another accent, and then accent. You keep doing this. Accent the right hand, not the left. And then when you start the song, see that left hand is tied all the way across. And that slur, I disagree with that slur. I would connect all these quarter notes together. You can lift up at the end of the line. And again, second line, I'd connect all these quarter notes together. So just draw that slur line over those first two quarter notes there and connect them all. Now that's pretty much the piece. In dynamics, it's basically loud. You're loud, and the accent goes up to sort of very loud. Loud. There's no melody here. It's just all there. But then when you get to the top of page 53, the right hand is the melody. That's what we want to hear. The left hand needs to be soft here. And you're moderately loud anyway, so there's no accents or anything. Just connect it all together until you get to the end. You can lift up the end of the line. Well, we want to hear the right hand there. And then you go back to this, what you did at the beginning. Then on top of that, they've added pedal. Well, isn't this fun? Here it kind of works out because you're building up a lot of sound, and the pedal will help with the overtones, and it's okay. And we're not using pedal at the top of page 53 when we start the piece. Okay. And then you use pedal again here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the pedal down right after I play the C in the right hand. Here. So it'll be here, and push the note down, then the pedal. And keep it down. You're going to keep it down all the way till you get to the, actually they say the top of page 53, lift it up right after you play those notes. I suggest you lift it up at the bottom of page 52. When you lift up the right hand, lift up the pedal with it. So there's a little silence before we start the piece. You see, if I play it the way they want, the last two measures on 52 going on, it sounds like this. Here, it's all connected. But I'm suggesting lift the pedal up so we get a little silence, so it would be this way. So it's like taking a breath before you go, and so it's not all connected together. It's an interpretive thing, and you can do it however you choose to, or however your teacher tells you to, but that's how I would suggest you do it. And then on page 53 in the third line, it's pedaling again, the same you did at the beginning. In the last measure, the pedal and the hands all come up together at the end of 4 counts. And that's the pedal. Speed-wise, majestically, it's a procession. Just think of a procession up. It's a proud army is coming in and whatever. I don't know. However you, left, right, however you want to do that. But I like to do it with you slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do the dynamics, but I will do the pedaling. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just try it slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.